7 days ahead of the new season. How was that for you?
Well, I thought we carried on where we left off against Reading, against a team, arguably was the best team I'd seen in League One. It's a bit false because you're going to play against Bradford with a 6'4" centre forward, and they're really not going to play the way Bournemouth play. So, in that sense, but I thought we showed a great deal of understanding of what we needed to do, and I just said to them afterwards, it'll be different on in the league game. But the principle is, can you understand what you need to do in every game? So it'll look a little bit different. But you need to work together to get possession, and when you get possession, then you can dictate play. So I thought that in that sense it was excellent. On a negative, or on a, you're thinking, well, we're solid, we look like we won't concede. Can we score enough goals? So I think that's an area we need to address. You look on the bench, and Stephen Davies would have given us another dimension in a sense. If he had a chance, you think look at the chances we had the second half. You think he might have put of them away. On the plus side, the front lads worked extremely hard, and which enabled them to get the chances. So there's pluses and minuses, and we just got to look at the squad as a whole and see where we can improve it.
So that negative can only be solved, you feel, by going into the transfer market, loan market?
Negative is probably the wrong word. It's just something when you look at pre-season, to look at your team to see what they can do and where they are. And I think if we had another striker similar to somebody like Sam, I think the squad as a whole would be more rounded, and that's something we need to look at.
Marlon Pack played 81 minutes. What did you make of his performance today, and what is the next step? Is he going to join you for training this week?
Well, he couldn't ask no more of the lad. He come in and did what he does really well. So he's put himself in the driving seat for us to try and do something. Like everything else, there's hurdles to get over with this is not a free transfer, this is a fee, so we've got to go down that line, and we've got one or two other options that wouldn't cost us anything. So I think there's a bigger decision to be made, but he's thought he acquitted himself really well. The game probably suited him.
Yep.
So if we were playing against another team that was a bit more crash bang wallop, but 21, he fits the profile.
When's the decision going to be made on Marlon and Harewood?
Marlon just needs games. He'll play against Western on Monday night, and he's 2 or 3 weeks away from being match fit. So that's an ongoing situation. Whether he stays here or whether he goes somewhere else, that situation is not going to change. He needs to get himself fit. So, like I said before, his value to the squad is not only on the pitch but also in the dynamic of the squad. And I just think he'd be a really good asset if we can do something. But it'll be something that suits the club. We're not going down the line of signing older players on long contracts and silly money, so that's not the point. But it gives us something that we haven't got. If we can get him fighting fit in League One, you think he'll be a threat. And his contribution, like Lewis Carey's off the pitch, is immense.
Bobby Reid today, you played him just behind Ryan Taylor. Do you see that as a position he could really move into?
I think the area of the pitch is the area that he can perform in, which I think, it's not a position. I think it's an area, and we try to work him in that area because he's got good feet and his awareness is really good, rather than a little bit deeper where he makes a mistake because of his age and it costs us. You saw Marlon Pack play there, and he's got that little bit more experience of league football, so that works better for Bobby. It gives him a little bit more freedom, and arguably he's missed a header where you think he should have scored, but he's created a problem, and that would have done a world of good. Same with Joe. Joe plays better. I mean, when I came here, people said he was a left back. I don't see him as a left back. I see him as somebody that can operate in midfield and further forward. So I think both boys did really well.
7 days to go. How ready do you feel?
Yeah, you're never ready. I don't think you're ever ready. I think that football in itself, the football industry, is in a constant state of flux all the time. So if you'd asked me that question last week, I'd have said, well, and then we've lost 2 players. So We've just got through this game without no injuries, and we've just got to make sure that the squad as a whole can cope, because everybody in this division, or in all the 4 divisions, is going to have to cope with injuries and loss of form, and refereeing decisions and upheaval in their squads. So we've got to make sure that we've got a balanced team that we can afford, and that moves the club in a forward direction.
Do you know what your best team is yet? That's what you wanted to get out of this pre-season, you said way back.
Well, I hope we've got more than one best team, because if we haven't, we are going to struggle. And that was the idea of trying to play everybody. So when you do get problems, somebody can drop in. They understand the role, and I think we've got a way of playing. I think that's become apparent. Maybe the last 2 games, it's come to its fulfilment. But hopefully, like I say, the league games are going to be different, and it's going to be a different type of game. But the principles remain the same. We've got to fight. We'll have to fight a little bit harder for possession, and then what we do with it is in our own hands.